Zoomer Radio, the original greatest hits with Burton Cummings in your backyard. Norman Eva on the Afternoon Express. Eva off this week. She'll be back on Monday. You know that we have some very talented musicians here at Zoomer Radio. And of course, I'm thinking of Robbie Lane, who does our evening show. And of course, Lily Frost with her great program on Sunday evenings. But what you may not know is we have a third very talented songwriter and musician right here at Zoomer Radio. His name is Murry Robe, and he has actually been the producer for the Afternoon Express for Eva and I for, well, a number of years now. Hi, Murray.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me, Norm.
Well, thanks for joining us here this afternoon. I thought, yeah, Murray, you do some great work as our producer. You do set up interviews, you set up the music, you do a lot of editing and that kind of thing. And we've actually chatted on the air a few times before, but I'm sure not too many people know that you are a very talented musician and have been writing your own songs, one of which we'll hear in just a moment. But what I'm interested in is you've been in a number of bands. How many bands? I've kind of lost count. There's
I think that like four. I played in Ruthless Ones, Grease Marks, Slow Drags, and Shook Boys. I still technically play in Slow Drags and Shook Boys, but obviously with the pandemic, there's not many shows.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you because, as a performer, you're out on stage and you're performing and you're doing shows. And then all of a sudden that comes to a stop in spring of 2020. So what did you do? Did you sort of divert your energies elsewhere?
Yeah, so I needed to stay creative like most people during the pandemic. So I decided to focus on songs I was writing. And I actually started doing solo work that is actually for the bands eventually.
Hmm.
But at the moment, it's just to keep myself creative.
Did they have a theme? I mean, I think I read that you,
I
sorry.
love 1950s rock and roll. That's my
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
most of my stuff has that kind of stuff in it and romance and that kind of attitude.
But now I think I read that you released a recording each week. You've been doing that since March of this year. So, I mean, that's a long time of recording every week. I'm not a songwriter. I'm not a performer, but to me, that sounds like a lot. I mean, how do you maintain that kind of creativity?
Some are old demos. Some are songs from my notebook that I've been writing for a couple years. And it's just, I've never had the time to record them. So
So,
I've decided to record them and I write them as I go also. So some weeks it'll be a song from 2 years ago. Some weeks it'll be a song from today.
so I'm assuming then that some of those songs that are a little more recent, have they been influenced by the lockdown and the pandemic and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so the song we're gonna play on air today is actually directly influenced by that. My partner lived a kilometer away from me, and I couldn't see them, and it was super sad. So that inspired the song, 1 Kilometer Away.
And how long did it take you to write that?
That was probably a one night. I just spewed out all the feelings I had, the stuff I was wanting to do, and it was just as simple as going for a walk with them.
Do you perform when you're writing songs? Do you perform with do you use a guitar or a keyboard?
Yeah, so all my stuff is recorded in the bedroom, in my actual bedroom. So I record it all to my computer. I play the drums, I play the guitar, I do the vocals, I play the piano. They have very out of tune piano in the dining room.
See, I told you he was a talented musician. 1 kilometer away. What did your girlfriend Sarah think about that?
She loves it, and I
Yeah,
love Sarah.
uh, I'll bet. Well, good for you. Well, let's hear it, shall we? Can we do that?
Yeah.
The song is called 1 Kilometer Away with Murray Robe. And this obviously has to do with, as you mentioned a moment ago, being apart from somebody and you can't get too close.
That's correct, yeah.
Here is Murray Robe, 1 Kilometer Away.
On Zoomer Radio, AM 740 and 96.7 FM in downtown Toronto.
1 kilometer away.
There is Murray Robe, 1 kilometer away here on Zoomer Radio. Murray, our producer here in the Afternoon Express, but a very talented musician, songwriter, as I mentioned. By the way, I noticed you spell Murray without an A at the end. It's Murry. Is that any
Yeah,
particular?
Murry. I've never been good at spelling, that's all.
Somebody forgot the A. Now, what's coming down there? I love that song. It's terrific, and very apropos for the times. But what's down the road? What are you thinking about in the near future?
I'm gonna keep writing, keep recording. I got a 45 coming out, or actually is out on Rockinitis Records. You can
Hmm.
find that online. It's the song Miss Anne by Murry Robe. That's me. You can find my music on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Amazon, and hopefully more on Zoomer Radio.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, hopefully back to shows, back to playing some rock and roll.
Yeah, I'll bet you missed out a lot. And any idea what you might be thinking of in terms of projects? Are you working on an album, or are you working on shows? Hopefully they'll be back on stage soon. Or
Yeah, both my bands, I play in the Slow Drags and the Shook Boys. We got some bookings coming up. You can find us on social media. Follow along there for any updates.
Murray Robe here on Zoomer Radio, and also our producer here on the Afternoon Express. And Murray, I hope one day that comes to an end, because you won't have time to being a producer. You'll be too busy recording, writing, doing stage shows, getting your name up on the neon lights and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Norm.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Murray Robe here on Zoomer Radio. Let's check the drive. Here's Skywards.
Southbound on the 404.